Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. The huge statue of Christ the Redeemer stands high above the city. People relax on the beach in the sunshine. People look out to sea as a huge wave rises up, curls over and rapidly freezes. Ice forms along the wave and spreads across the surface of the ocean. In an explosion of shattered ice, Shimo and Skarking burst up out of the frozen ocean, limbs flailing. They crash down on the sandy beach. Stunned, Skarking hauls himself to his feet and shakes sand off himself. He looks up into the bright sunshine and holds up a hand to shield his eyes. He casts a huge shadow over the sandy beach and roars. People run in terror. Skarking points the glowing spike on the end of his whip at Shimo, who rears up on the ice, throws her head back and gapes. Shimo spews an icy blast up into the sky and ominous dark grey clouds start to form. Shimo aims a blast at high-rise buildings along the waterfront and slices right through them. Skarking gives a mighty roar. Kong punches him onto his back. A heat blast hits Shimo and sends her tumbling. Godzilla bursts up out of the ice, huge mouth agape. Skarking wipes an arm across his mouth and spits out one of his teeth, which is as big as a car. It lands on a road. Kong and Skarking bare their teeth at each other. Skarking thrusts his spike towards Shimo. Godzilla barges into her and his tail demolishes a building. Using her head, Shimo shoves Godzilla backwards through the city. Skarking swings from the building and Kong floors him. Skarking points his spike at Shimo and she swipes Kong against the building with her tail. People run in fear and Kong looks round to see Shimo bounding towards him. Godzilla sideswipes Shimo. She tumbles and kicks Godzilla away. He crashes down on buildings, reducing them to rubble. In Hollow Earth, the young ape sees Kong's axe stuck in the rock. It leaps onto the handle, pulls it out of the rock, and drops into the swirling vortex. Skarking rips the top off a skyscraper with his whip and swings it at Kong, who smashes it to pieces with his mechanical gauntlet. Skarking tumbles towards Kong and kicks him at Shimo, who bites his arm and slams him into a building. She drags him back and forth over rubble by his gauntlet, then swings him into a building, destroying him. Shimo rears up and shoots ice breath at Kong. He shields himself with his mechanical gauntlet. Bright purple energy surges through Godzilla's immense form as he rises to his full height. He blasts Skarking with atomic breath. He's thrown over and attacks with his whip. Godzilla catches it in his mouth and yanks Skarking off his feet. He tumbles onto his back. Godzilla bites through the whip and the glowing spike at the end falls to the ground. As Skarking bounds towards the spike, Kong keeps deflecting Shimo's ice breath with his gauntlet. Godzilla shoots streams of atomic breath at Skarking as he bounds across the roofs of tall buildings. Spread-eagled, he dives towards his glowing spike, which lies in a park. He lands, rolling across the ground, and grabs it. Godzilla blasts him off his feet, and he drops the spike. Kong struggles to hold up his arm against Shimo's ice breath, and Godzilla attacks, blasting Shimo with atomic breath. Godzilla headbutts Shimo over. Kong smashes the ice, encasing his mechanical gauntlet. Kong leaps for the spike. Skarking pulls him back by his legs and gets him in a headlock as he tries to grab the glowing spike. The young ape appears, dragging Kong's axe. It hefts it up over its head and with a mighty leap brings the axe head down on the spike. A gigantic shockwave erupts, throwing the titans off their feet and sending them sprawling into the rubble. Shimo rears up, dazed, and her eyes no longer glowing. Skarking angrily grabs the young ape, and Kong punches Skarking in the face. The young ape is thrown to the ground and looks up fearfully. Kong grabs Scar-King and hurls him across the city. Godzilla whips his tail round and flips Scar-King back into Kong's grasp. Kong holds the Scar-King aloft by his throat. Shimo turns to Godzilla, who gapes at her and glows. Shimo's eyes light up pale blue again. She sends an immense icy blast at Scar-King, completely encasing him in ice. Kong stares at Scar-King's grotesque frozen grimace. He hops onto the roof of a tall building and holds the rigid Titan above his head, then smashes him to the ground. Scar-King splinters into a million icy shards. Kong punches and roars. Kong slings his axe onto his shoulder and looks over at Godzilla. Pale purple energy surges through him, and he throws his head back. He shoots a massive blast of atomic breath, lighting up the sky. Shimo, the young ape, and Kong watch in awe. Shimo's eyes and spines glow pale blue. The young ape's mouth hangs open as the sky becomes completely white.